Hello, this is Jim Lange. I'd like to talk for a moment about the fiduciary rule. And this rule was actually scheduled to take effect on April 10th, 2017. Now, President Trump just directed the Labor Department to review this rule and see if it was consistent with his general desire to have less regulation. Well, it might be a moot point, but let me tell you a little bit about the fiduciary rule, why I'm actually in favor of it, and what you should be doing whether the law passes or whether it doesn't. In the past, there have been a lot of financial advisors who have sold financial products to their clients where they may have received a significant commission. So some of these commissions on some of these products might be 6%, 8%, 10%, or even higher. So let's think of this out for a minute. So, and sometimes, and again, I'm not saying all annuities are bad, but let's say that some of these annuities that might pay an advisor, say, a 10% commission. So you buy an annuity for $1 million, and the advisor makes a $100,000 commission. So let's think about this. Under the old rules where the advisor didn't have to tell you how much money he was going to make, and he didn't have a legal obligation to act in a way that was in your best interest, what he could have done is sold you that $1 million annuity. He makes $100,000. Now, you don't write him a check for $100,000. You don't even know he's making a check. He's making $100,000, but ultimately the advisor is being paid by the insurance company. Now let's think about it. So the insurance company just wrote a check for $100,000. So what does the insurance company have left? They don't have $900,000 to invest. I'm sorry, they don't have $1 million to invest. They only have $900,000 to invest, which means you're going to get a smaller return, or they're going to have to invest in something riskier. Now, to be fair, some of these annuities actually have some fairly attractive guarantees that are attractive to conservative investors. On the other hand, our approach is rather than having an advisor take a huge amount out in fees, we would rather preserve, let's say, a conservative outlook by having a well-diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds. And then, instead of getting whacked with, say, a $100,000 fee up front going to an advisor or the insurance company, let's say that the fee is very low, maybe 0.5% or 1%, not as a fee on a product, but actually to manage the account. And what do I mean by manage the account? I'm not talking about just investments. I'm talking about getting the Roth IRA conversion analysis in place, getting the Social Security analysis in place, taking a look at the safe withdrawal rate. We run the numbers to determine what is the best course of action, taking a look at the estate planning, the tax planning, etc. That's all one portion. Then the other portion is the investments themselves. All right, what mix of index funds should you have? Should you have what we call the stack analysis, meaning, let's say, one very conservative portfolio for the short term, CDs, cash, maturing bond ladders, etc. The other extreme, money that you're not going to need for a long time. There we're interested in more volatile but ultimately higher paying investments, things like small cap stocks or emerging markets or even emerging small cap. And then a bunch of portfolios in between. And we like getting our safety using this stack analysis in a well-diversified portfolio of $1 million. So, by the way, my personal fee for that kind of service, I have to do that work. That is, run the numbers, do the analysis, answer phone calls, send out newsletters, meet with clients, have my employees meet with clients, and then the money manager's doing, let's say, a comparable job on managing the money. We have to do that for 20 years to make the same fee that we would if we just sold you one of these products that we don't think are in your best interest. So we are fiduciary advisors, meaning we are required to do what is in your best interest, not our own. And if you follow my career, what am I always recommending? Doing Roth IRA conversions, which, by the way, means less money for the money manager to manage and hence a smaller fee for us. Hold off on Social Security, which actually means less money for the money manager. Again, we do this because we are fiduciary advisors. Now, for us, this law doesn't make any difference because we're fiduciary advisors anyway. But what President Trump is questioning is, do we need a law in place to require financial advisors or insurance agents or any type of people who are working with the public to act in their best interest? Now, the argument that it's moot is, well, the insurance companies and the financial companies responded by creating products that would be consistent with the fiduciary rule. Maybe it's a moot point. On the other hand, personally, I like the idea that advisors are required to be fiduciaries for their clients, and therefore I am not a huge fan of questioning the fiduciary rule, because I think that the relationship between a financial advisor or any kind of advisor, whether it be attorney or CPA, or for that matter, plumber or electrician or anybody else, should be what is in the best interest of the client, not what is in the best interest of the service provider. I hope this video has been helpful to explain a little bit about the fiduciary rule, and the lesson for you is to make sure that your advisor, if you choose to use one, is a true fiduciary and is acting in your best behalf, whether it is because they are required to legally or because it is the right thing. Again, you want your advisor, and I would say in all areas, to be acting in your best interest, not the best interest of the advisor or provider. Thank you.